What's good? We back with the Boxing Clinic and more. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. One time for the one time. Y'all know what the business is. We grinding. Back on our boxing ish as usual. Don't forget to check us out at the new Raw and Cut podcast we got going on with the Cali Enigma and myself. The link's in the description. 11 episodes, and hopefully we can build on that pretty soon. But, you know, one man's loss is another man's gain. Positive, negative energy in the balance. And we talking about Errol and Mikey. Now, that was a fight that Showtime said, you know, with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder going on, they didn't want to squeeze another pay-per-view in for 2018. Okay? Because boxing's already had one pay-per-view with Triple G and Canelo. And then, you know, at the end of the year, UFC has a one after that with McGregor and Khabib. And then at the end of the year, UFC has one 232 with Emmanuel Nunes and Chris Cyborg. So they didn't think the fans around the holiday time would buy another pay-per-view with Errol and Mikey. But if it's true, and reports are that Tyson Fury is balking at the Wilder fight, saying he might not take the fight now. Well, look what you got. The positive thing that come out of the situation is that you now have another pay-per-view now that can step in and assume that position, and that's a formidable main event. That's a very formidable main event. So, Mikey and Errol, all the talk that it might not happen, it might be pushing back. People saying, "Oh, I expected that from Mikey," and I said some of that as well. But I was just waiting on to see the reason why the fight didn't happen. You know, I wanted to wait and see what was going to be the reason why it didn't go through. But if Fury pulls out, you know, if he pulls out, shit, then Mikey and Errol, Showtime got the perfect plan B. They can assume this position in Las Vegas. They can do it in Texas. And the undercard doesn't have to change. It doesn't have to change. And, you know, for most people thinking, for Mikey's sake, this is bad news. But Mikey wants to fight. He's very confident in his abilities and skills. And you got people coming on here, you know, that's going to say, well, they're saying, oh, Errol's a bum and Errol's never been on Mikey level. What level has Mikey Garcia truly been on? You know, what level has he been on that's above Errol Spence or at Errol Spence? He hasn't. He hasn't been on that level. And that's an actual fact. You know, Adrian Broner was the best step up and fight his career. And that's the guy, Adrian Broner, that had 2 L's. Coming down in weight to 140, you know, from 147 a while ago. So, you know, you're going to have people that's gonna pump Mikey up and support Mikey. You're going to have those slappy fans. You're going to have fans that really think Mikey could win and believe in his ability. And that's going to come with formidable arguments and great strategy on how Mikey could beat Errol. But like I said, you're going to have them slappy fans as well. Errol is a target, man. You know, Errol is a target, and I'll get to that in the live stream we're going to drop in about an hour or two. Errol's a target. You know what I'm saying? You know, it is what it is. People say, I'm tired of hearing about him. Well, you know, like I told him on Corey Elite Boxing yesterday, fight him then. Fight him. What's the fear? Why are we taking Granados and Berto fights before we take this fight and get a championship? Which I won't get too deep on, but that's still straight. I still take Mikey and Errol. I mean, they both have their cons to both of the pay-per-view fights with Tyson and Wilder and Mikey and Errol. The downfall to Tyson and Wilder was, well, Fury's not ready. Tyson Fury's not ready. That's the downfall. That's what people say. The downfall to Mikey and Errol is you got a lightweight jumping up 2 weight classes to fight a welterweight. Well, I say, well, it has been done before. It's been done a couple of times that I can remember. Sugar Shane Mosley jumped up 2 weight classes to fight Oscar De La Hoya. Roberto Duran jumped up 2 weight classes to face Sugar Ray Leonard. It's been done before. People act like, oh, it's crazy. These dudes jumping up in weight to challenge Errol. The disparity. At the end of the day, a lot of these dudes walk around above the middleweight limit, around 170, 180. A lot of those guys. You know, that's what people don't fail to realize. You know, ain't nothing these dudes can do in boxing that hasn't really been done inside the square circle. And that's because, you know, people don't know boxing. The only boxing they know is this generation or the generation before this, the Manny Pacquiao Mayweather generation. That's all they know. So they think this is boxing. They think this is the greatest boxing or the best boxing can get. They're stupid. They're dumb. They're ignorant. They lack the knowledge to know that this ain't even half the boxing. This is F grade boxing compared to the boxing that me and other guys grew up in the 90s, and the guys who grew up in the 80s, 70s, and 60s and 50s scene. Dog, it fails in comparison. Mikey jumping up 2 weight classes, that ain't shit new. Especially he walking way above the 135, 140 pound limit, around 170 pounds. And people say, well, you know, Errol hasn't did this and that. For a guy that hasn't accomplished anything in his career, according to people, for a guy who only has so many title defenses, and he needs to have more title defenses, but people crying about the Ocampo mandatory, for somebody that lacks the resume, that lacks the body of work, that lacks the labor, it sure ain't nobody that's dialing up to fight him. Mikey Garcia is solely banking on this guy being a come forward fighter and being able to outpoint him and move side to side. That's what he's banking on. Because if he really truly believed he was a great welterweight or great at 140, 147, he would have challenged Terrence Crawford. But he said Terrence Crawford's a mover. He knows what his weakness is. He believes that Errol can come towards him. He can outpoint Errol. That's what it boils down to. He believes what some of these slappy fans believe. That Errol has no defense. Errol is bland. Errol is a straight up and down fighter. That's what he believes. But like I said, it's a great thing that can happen if Fury and Wilder don't happen. You see this fight happen. You can see a massacre. You can see Mikey Garcia get drugged ring post to ring post, or you can see Mikey Garcia put a boxing clinic on and, you know, assume his rightful position as one of the greatest pound for pound fighters of this generation. Y'all know what it is. We on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Also, if you want to donate, the PayPal link in the description. Y'all know what the business is. It's the Boxing Clinic and more. Shout out to the LDBC one time for the one time we grinding. Much blessings to all the brothers around the way. Y'all know what it is. We gone.